We're back at the Etihad this afternoon as Manchester City welcome Burnley for the 9th league game of the season. We're almost a quarter way through the campaign, and Manchester City are hoping to kick on following progression to the last 16 of the Champions League. We can see all the players and manager arriving here at the Etihad today. It's raining, it's wet, it's miserable in Manchester. What a shock, but the Christmas tree is up, the lights are on as we count down to the festive season, and all of the players are hoping that with 10 games to go until the new year, they can get every single point that they need to. Now, welcome to We're Not Really Here. My name's Kyle Walker. Joining me today, we are thrilled to have for the first time with us Kevin Horlock. Kevin, welcome to the Etihad. Welcome to We're Not Really Here. How are you feeling today? Dressed up for the occasion?
Well, yeah, I thought I'd make an effort. Judging by these, I shouldn't have bothered. But thanks for having me. Obviously, delighted to be here. I take it Paul Dickoff weren't available or something.
Yeah. Well, we've got Mini Paul in, even Minier Paul in for us to join us here on the show. We've also got Gareth Taylor joining us here, former Manchester City, Burnley and current women's manager. Gareth, welcome to We're Not Really Here.
Kyle.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, good. Yeah, nice to be here. Nice to get out and actually watch a proper game. It's great, and hopefully we get a good game today.
That's one of the benefits of being here when the game's out at the Etihad. We can see the pitch just over my shoulder, and Manchester City, they are hoping to get all 3 points against Burnley and lots of goals. And one man that knows a thing or two about scoring against Burnley is Shaun Goater. Welcome to We're Not Really Here. Think they're going to get as many goals as you saw against Burnley?
Well, I gave my prediction earlier, so I don't want to quite give it away. But again, I think with City, we actually do one or two things. We either hammer them, as in 4, 5, or 6 goals, or it becomes one of those games where Burnley get a few occasions, but we still end up winning narrowly. So which one will it be? But again, I think City will be City, and City will still win.
Hopefully they will. Right, let's go through the starting 11 and the substitutes for today's game. We've got Edison in goal, then we've got Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Benjamin Mendy making the defence. Then we've got Rodri, Ilkay Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne. And the front three, Ferran Torres, Riyad Mahrez and Gabriel Jesus. On the bench, you've got Zach Stefan, Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho, João Cancelo, Phil Foden and Eric Garcia. Hearing that team, Kevin, what are you thinking? That starting 11, the front three in particular, Ferran Torres, Riyad Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus. There's goals in that, isn't there?
Yeah, that will be making Burnley team and manager quake in their boots, I think. I don't think there's no real massive surprises. Me, for one, I'd have loved Phil to get a start coming up. Incredible story, really. Local lad to come through such a big club is incredible. And I just feel like he's arrived now and pushing for a start. I would have liked to have seen that, but not to be today. But there's so many games coming thick and fast. I'm sure he'll get his chance.
He definitely will. Gareth, what do you make of it? Because some of the highlights of the team, John Stones, I think, is a big one because he's kept his place in the team. That's going to give him a boost of confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good confidence for John. He's had to really keep working hard, keep training hard, and playing kind of a little bit second fiddle to some of the strong performers in front of him. So yeah, good that he's stringing together his second game. And like personally for me, same as what Kev said, like I'm a big fan of Phil's. I was fortunate enough to work with him. And he's done amazing up until now, like Kevin said, to break through. And he's got really, really bright future ahead of him.
I feel like a lot of Manchester City fans, or every Manchester City fan, they're so proud of him. We feel like he's come from Stockport. He's one of our own. I've had the privilege of working with him a few times as well. But for you to actually see him on the pitch and to see him grow and develop, what was that like, Gareth?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, he was always someone, Phil, who your only kind of concern was that how small he was and how slight he was. But if you see him now, you wouldn't know. He's quick, he's agile, he's strong, and he's just got this wonderful ability to be able to take the ball in any area. And he plays with his heart. And, we're really, really fortunate. And I'm sure, I know Pep is because he's mentioned it on so many occasions, like we're really, really lucky to have him.
Now, Shaun, we always talk about the attacking players that Manchester City have. We have them in abundance, and one of those is Ferran Torres. What have you made of him so far this season?
Yeah, Torres, I really like him. I'm just speaking off air and saying that, when he's even played up top, the runs and the movement that he makes is like he's played center forward for years. And sometimes you can tell a player that's a wide player when he's played, up the middle and just doing a job. But his movement, his intelligence of thought, his finishing, he's one of them. And I had put this out in a tweet many weeks ago that I think Sterling, Jesus got some competition for top goal scorer because this guy has an eye for goal. And, when he's played up top, he scored goals. And even when he's out wide, he scores goals.
He does indeed. Right, one man that we have mentioned is John Stones, and we've caught up to him to see how he's feeling ahead of today's match.
John, this is the first opportunity to bounce back from the Spurs game. Although the game's come thick and fast, has this been one that the team have been wanting to come around quickly?
Yeah, I think our game the other night was a good chance for us to get back to winning ways, and the best way to bounce back is with a win, and obviously we want to bring that back to the Premier League and do it fast and keep that winning run going is important for us. We need to keep picking up the points and playing well as a team, and the other night for us was a great start to that. Another great opportunity today, and hopefully we can keep that winning run going.
The last two games has shown the amount of opportunities that you've had in front of goal. Has it been a source of frustration amongst the team that you've not quite found that cutting edge that we've seen from City over the years?
I think it is frustrating for everyone, and when we don't play to our not potential, I suppose, our high standards that we set. I think the other night we got back to the old us, if you want to say it like that. We're always striving to be better and looking at our games and seeing where we go wrong and where we can improve. And it's not as easy as just a simple change. So it's a collection of things, and we're working hard on that. And I think going back to basics sometimes can get us back to where we want to be. And today, like the game today, is another chance, as I said, and hopefully we can recreate some of those special moments and that winning feeling that we've had in the past.
It's your first Premier League start since the opening game of the season. Do you see this as a period where you can an opportunity to cement your place in the team?
I think everyone's fighting for the places all the time. It's one that you've got to grab with both hands and run with it. But it's about helping the team and helping when asked upon, and that's what the manager wants from us all. Everyone's in and out, and he changes the team to what he thinks is the best team for that game, and we all understand our roles and responsibilities and know that everyone in the team's ready when called upon and knows our worth to everyone in the dressing room as well.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
John Stones there, ahead of Manchester City taking on Burnley today at the Etihad. One thing that was brought up was the amount of shots that they are managing to, the chances that they're creating. Against Tottenham, they had 22. Against Olympiacos, they had another 22. 44 in total. And Kevin, they've only scored one of those. Is that a worry for this team?
I don't think it's a worry. If you are creating that many chances and shots, at some point it will change. It could be a mixture of things, maybe not the sweetest of connections, maybe good defending, maybe good goalkeeping. It's a good stat, but obviously the goals, the worry. But if it gets on the other side and it becomes better, then Burnley's in a bit of bother.
It is indeed, especially when you're looking at the substitutes, when you've got Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, and also Phil Foden to come on, possibly to find you some goals. Gareth, 44 shots, 1 goal. Does that remind you of 1999?
We'd have settled for that. Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't go that far. But no, I think this team has always scored goals, and I think at the moment it's just, it can happen sometimes, maybe that decision making or, when you look at those shots, how many are on target, I think that those would be key things to consider. But I think with this team, you always know they're going to arrive in the final third. They're going to make situations. They're going to have final actions. It's just about that last little bit of quality for them to click again, and they will do.
Sean, if you were on the end of all of these chances that are being created, I feel like you'd get a goal or two.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time that the team will click, and hopefully that could be today. Where there's a few goals that are scored, but again, similar to what the guys are saying, I wouldn't be too worried because again, you're creating that many opportunities. And City have always created opportunity, and it could be a number of things, and these could be little fine things. And those things could come right in one game, and then all of a sudden, we know what City is capable of, going on 17, 18 games of just continuous winning.
And that's the key thing, isn't it, Kevin? That actually we know what Manchester City are capable of, and they've set that bar so high in past seasons that, yes, people are comparing them to those the past couple of seasons now, but there's nothing to worry about yet, is there?
No, far from it. I think the levels they reach to maintain that continuously season after season is near on impossible. So there is going to be a lull, and yes, people were saying that City are in that lull at the minute. It's not that much of a lull, is it? Like Goat said, it takes one performance, few goals, and all of a sudden it all clicks into place again. And you touched on it there. The subs bench is frightening. Mate, I feel for the Burnley players, because I imagine they're going to sit deep and sit behind the ball and being tired and run several miles and then see them players coming on. Oh, not good. Not good. Not good.
Now, Manchester City, obviously, they have qualified for the next round of the Champions League. 2 games to go. Yes, we've got another EFL Cup game, 23rd of December, I think it is. But, Gareth, the players can really focus on the sheer amount of games that are coming up in the Premier League and just take those one by one. They want 3 points every single time they go out, don't they?
Yeah, like you were saying now, 10 games left in all competitions and before the new year, which is crazy, really. When you look at the schedule of they're playing a game every 3 days, quarterfinals to come in the Carabao Cup as well. So, there's plenty to keep them occupied. And, like you say, previously, when you're potentially not scoring goals, the fact that you have so many games coming up, we always used to say as strikers, Shaun, didn't we, that start getting worried when you don't get chances. That's the key thing. The fact that they are getting chances, they are going to gain some opportunities, they'll get momentum, and they want to really start looking to improve their points tally now in the Premier League.
And they can definitely do that. The international breaks are out of the way until well into the new year. So hopefully Manchester City can focus on the Premier League, keep on getting those 3 points week in, week out. Right, it's time for a little bit of a competition right now, okay? Because we've got a pixelated Manchester City player. And at this moment in time, nobody in the studio knows who it is. And we want you guys to play at home as well, all right? This is our Mystery Blue Challenge. Use that hashtag WNRH. Okay, if you think you know who that is, tweet us, use the hashtag and let us know who you think this mystery pixelated Manchester City player is. I think I've got it. I think right off the back I've got it. It's a bit of a rogue guess that I'm going for, but I'm going to jot mine down. I want you guys to do the same. Make a note of it. Kevin, any early?
I've got an idea.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem too sure on that one, but make sure.
Like Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. Make sure you use that hashtag WNRH at home. We want to hear from you if you think you know who that is. Right, on City Plus right now, we have our EDS team taking on Liverpool. The latest score is 4-1, all right, and we do have some of the first half goals for you to see. With that first goal right there, with a little bit of a cheeky nick off the Liverpool defender. Coming up with the second, Adrian Bernabé right there. And Cole Palmer said, anything you can do from outside the box, well, I can do better. After the opportunity comes to him just outside. Oh, that was very cheeky. That was very, very, very cheeky. And Liverpool did get one back just before the end of the first half. But Manchester City thought, do you know what? Oh, no, we're going to make it 4. We're going to make it 4. Liam Delap getting the fourth one right there. Manchester City winning 4-1 against Liverpool. Gareth, I've got to come to you straight away because you've worked with a few of these players. We did see some of the goals before, and one of them you mentioned was Bernabé's right foot.
Yeah, great for Adrian. He, I think he was been training with the first team quite a bit. Was unfortunate to get an injury in one of the games. He's back now with the 23s and playing out of position, and brilliant today that he's gone and scored with his right foot. So that'll be a nice little one for him. That.
Kevin, how important do you think is it for these EDS players when they are training with the first team that they just soak everything in with working with Pep, working with the other players as well?
Yeah, you've got to be like a sponge, obviously, to play with that quality of player. And obviously, having a manager like Pep, you just got to soak it up, listen to every single word, and on top of that, try and perform really well. So it's tough, but the lads must be loving it.
Shaun, you were giving a round of applause to Cole Palmer for that third goal. His second, the cheeky little chip right there. What did you make of that?
Well, that was definitely a goal that I couldn't score. You all didn't see me, but I stood up in there. That was absolute quality, you know, the little dink. That's something that Kevin had in his locker. Gareth now and again had that in his locker, but me definitely not. You know, what I want to know is, Gareth, would you have squared that first goal when the player won it off the goalkeeper?
I would have been, I'm glad you said that. I would have been disappointed here with this. Liam Delap would be looking. Yeah, this is the goal from Cole.
That was
Great
the goal.
finish.
Oh,
quality.
Shaun, do you not think you could do that? No.
No, I'm normally in the box. Looking for the
You could have done that, but you wouldn't have meant to do it.
Yeah.
Very true.
Going back to the one, would you have squared it then, Gareth? The first goal?
I can see why Cole hasn't, but you'd be disappointed as a number 9. We'd be disappointed there. You'd be expecting
It's a
the
good
square.
thing he scored.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they are looking to impress Pep Guardiola, but he's here. He's at the Etihad, and we talked to him ahead of today's game as Manchester City take on Burnley.
Pep, 4 changes to your team from midweek. No Sergio Aguero. What's your reason for leaving him out of the squad?
He's not ready. He needs to train, and today, this morning, had a little bit disturbed in his knee.
So a slight setback, perhaps, in his recovery. No Laporte or Aki as well. Is that injury related?
No.
They're both just in terms of rotation.
Yeah.
With Champions League qualification secured, how significant do you see this period in terms of your Premier League challenge?
Yeah, we have 2 games in the Champions League to finish first, but obviously the main target in the first month is on the first weeks this season is the qualification Champions League. Now it's done, so now is the Premier League the main focus, and we have to start to win games.
You've scored plenty of goals against Burnley in recent contests. How important is it you rediscover that cutting edge today?
Past is the past. New game, new setup, and try to do a good game to create chances, to concede less, and try to win the game.
Thank you, Pep.
You're very welcome.
The thoughts of manager Pep Guardiola ahead of today's game. Gareth, from one manager to another, what do you think Pep's thinking today? Because it's been so busy, and then here you are again. You've come off the back of Champions League, you're back into the Premier League, and Burnley, they're not an easy team to face.
No, they're not an easy team, but I think it's a nice game for him to look at, where he can mix things up a little bit, change the team around slightly, like we've spoken about. Still has real good options from the bench. And like Shaun said previously, we're hoping for the club that it could be one of those where they click and get a 4 or 5-0 rather than the close 1 or 2-1 that we potentially could see happening with Burnley sticking bodies behind the ball.
Now, we will go through the Burnley starting 11. They've got Bailey, Peacock, Farrell, Charlie Taylor, Matthew Loughton, Ben Mee is their captain, James Tarkowski, Ashley Westwood, Dwight McNeil, Josh Benson, Jay Rodriguez, Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood. Shaun, I know you said that Manchester City will win, but you know that Burnley can be a bit threatening, especially from set pieces.
Yes, Ashley Barnes, an experienced player, knows how to put himself about, especially in the final third. So if there are those balls in and around the box, he'll put himself. Woods as well, the same. This is what Burnley will be looking for. Those scenarios or situations there, when they're in their final third, they can put the centre-backs, the back four, under some sort of pressure. And just Sean Dyche will know, they have to defend, as Gareth said. They have to defend and try to get those counter-attack or those set-pieces situations.
Now, for Burnley, coming into this game, they've only won 1 from the last 12 meetings against Manchester City. The last 6 meetings at the Etihad, the aggregate score in the last 6 games is 24-2. Kevin, what are you thinking about them for today?
Yes, look, it's probably a game that, when you look through the fixtures, Sean Dyche, I don't think would have put it down as 3 points where they can gain the 3 points. So he knows it's going to be a difficult one. I'm with everybody else. I just think Burnley will come here and try and be resolute, get behind the ball and keep it 0-0 as long as possible.
Would you call this a free hit as a manager, Gareth, from Burnley's point of view?
Well, I think he's looked at it, and they've won their last game, so they got 3 points on the board. They sit 5 points in the league, just above that relegation zone. So I think they'll be full of confidence. I think they're coming, like you say, this will be a free hit. They can. I think the important thing will be for them, and Sean Dyche will be concentrating on this, is like staying in the game. I think that's key. If they can get to 20 minutes period, staying in the game, then that give them even more confidence.
Now, one name that's not featuring for Burnley today is Nick Pope. He's missing out because of a head injury, but that means that Bailey Peacock-Farrell is ready to come in and actually take that spot up for today. He's been warming up today here at the Etihad. He played in goal in the Carabao Cup game. And Kevin, this is a huge opportunity for him against Manchester City, but he's going to be protecting that goal with everything he's got, isn't he?
It's a strange one for a goalkeeper. Look, you get a chance. Do you want to play a team where you're not going to have to do a lot and you can't show how well you've done, or do you want to play a Manchester City team where he's probably going to get peppered? So the potential there is for him to have a really good game and make saves. On the other hand, there's a potential of him having a bad back at the end of it.
It's funny. Strangely enough, Burnley's last game, the goalkeeper got a knock. Yeah, Pope got a knock, and I remember it was late in the game, and the cameras had panned to him. He was on the subs bench, and his body language is though I'm not warming up. and as former players, guys who are coaching everything, you take that sort of stuff in. So I'm intrigued to see how he performs, because for me, his body language was, well, I'm not warming up. It's 3 minutes to go. It was strange, and I just observed it a different way, as opposed to, well, okay, if I need to go on for the last 3-4 minutes, then I'll do it. So I'm intrigued to see how he performs.
I always remember Sean Wright-Phillips saying that he found it very difficult coming off the bench because you've not got that momentum that players will have from the start of the game. Gareth, we can only imagine, but for a goalkeeper, it must be even harder when you're coming off the bench, the player's got an injury, you need to come into net, you're not that warm, and then you've got Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling, players of this quality firing shots at you.
Yeah, I like how you asked me that question, Carl, because I used to come off the bench quite a bit. But yeah, for a goalkeeper, it's a strange one. And like Sean says, I think sometimes they don't automatically warm up. When you see a forward going down and you're the forward that's on the bench, you jump up straight away and think, well, this could be serious. I think goalkeepers are quite thick-skinned, so he probably didn't realise that he was needed. But yeah, like you say, you can sit for 25, 30 games in a season as a goalkeeper and not be used. And then all of a sudden it just happens like that, where goalkeeper goes down, you're onto the pitch, you probably don't have much time to think about it really, and then you're going out and facing the hot shots and the opposition that we've already spoken about.
It happened with Nick, didn't it? Obviously, he'd gone to Burnley, hadn't played, was on the bench continuously, and Heaton got injured in the game. He got on and took his chance. So it is 100% an opportunity for him. And it could be an opportunity for him to make, like I said, lots of saves.
Definitely. I think there's going to be lots of saves, hopefully, to be made today. So we need to move on to something. To you at home, yes, this show is all about you, the fans, and we're really hoping that at some point before the end of the season, we'll get you back here at the Etihad. But for now, we want to still recognise all the incredible stuff that you guys have been doing, and we want you to remember that there are hundreds of official supporters clubs all around the world.
Even though we are apart right now, we will get through this together.
We are a club built on resilience.
Great to see all our official supporters clubs.
Hello to Manchester City fans worldwide.
Big g'day from Australia.
From Chile to the world.
Citizens Brazil.
Jojo China.
An official supporters club here in Bangalore, India.
From Baghdad, Iraqi Sky Blue Branch.
Stay safe. Hoping you, your friends and family are all well during this difficult time for us all.
And lots of love and happiness to all our blue friends around the world.
As Manchester City fans, we got this. We are in this together.
City is more than just a club. We're a family.
Together we can win this battle in the end.
And I hope you're looking forward to watching the boys play football again.
And cheering for our club together from our homes.
Manchester City, love you guys.
Yalla City.
We miss you.
Yes, there are so many official supporters clubs out there, so we want you to get involved, and we can now present, yes, by means of We're Not Really Here, a very special plaque. We can see it just below me right here, and I'm going to call it Official Supporters Club Branch of the Week. It's the Shropshire branch, and to tell us more, here is their chairman, Shaun Fogarty.
Yeah, as I said to you, it's HAA. Pep, you've just signed a new contract. You can buy whoever you want. Go get him. Yeah, listen, somebody's just turned up. I've got to go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. See you, Pep. Love you. Bye. Hi, my name's Shaun Fogarty. I'm the chairman of the Shropshire branch. Welcome to Shropshire. We are the biggest inland county, so we start way up in the north and go way down to the south, about 70 odd miles. In the north, we have members in Whitchurch. In the south, we have members in Ludlow, Craven Arms, Clun, Church Stretton, and right through Shrewsbury, Telford. Many of our members, like myself, are Mancunians. I'm from Chadderton, north of Manchester originally. We've got members from Droylsden, all over the place. Tom, our oldest member, been a City fan for coming up 80 years. He's from Droylsden. One of our founder members was Ken Mulhern, ex-Shrewsbury Town goalkeeper. Used to come to lots of our meetings, could always tell a great tale, quite a character. I've been a City fan for well over 50 years. One of my earliest memories was being altar boy at Joe Corrigan's wedding. Joe got married in Shrewsbury. They came round the school, said, any City fans? There were two of us. I still meet Pete Cox at the occasional match 50 odd years later. Keep the faith. Today, tough game. Burnley will put 11 men behind the ball in their own penalty area. I see us breaking them down, as we always managed to do in the past. 4-0 City. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Shaun. Like a true professional throwing it back to us here in the studio. He says 4-0 against Burnley today. So from one Shaun to another Shaun right here, who knows a thing or two, as we've mentioned, about scoring against Burnley. Could you do us the honours of presenting the plaque by just saying a few good words? I'm not going to make you pick it up because it's delicate.
Not a goalkeeper, so I wouldn't drop it. You're okay. Well, yeah, to the Official Supporters Club. Listen, continue doing what you do. You know, from Codone, Ferran, Pep, the players. I'm going big here, aren't I? Pep, the players, the former players. We're not really here. Continue doing what you're doing. You keep the blue light lit.
Do you know what? If we're going to put someone on the spot for a few words, it's got to be Shaun Goater, because that was absolutely brilliant. Shaun, we know how important the fans are, and the news that because of restrictions, at some point, hopefully, quite soon, we might be able to get some fans back in the stadium. And I'm not sure about you, but I can't wait until we've got football fans back in the stadiums to watch the games.
Yes, we all want that, and we want it to be done in safety. So shortly we'll have that where fans are able to come, and over time that will increase. So certainly we'll soon see all the members back and supporting. So continue doing what they're doing. Certainly.
Now, Shaun from the Official Supporters Club in Shropshire, he talked about some of the fondest memories that he's got. And I thought, I can't be sat here with absolute legends in Gareth Taylor, Kevin Horlock, Shaun Goater, and not relive some of your best or worst Manchester City memories from over the years. And one that I do want to start with, York away, December 1998. Gareth, I'm going to come to you first. Can you remember that day?
We've started on a low point. Yeah, let's just put that out there. Let's start on a low point. Well, we were talking on the way in when I spoke with Kevin and the GOAT about first thing we had to really get onto Google to find out if we. I can't remember playing in that, but I did. But a lot of people would say, no, actually, you never played in that game. You were out there, but you never played. Again, just. I'd literally signed for the club about a month previous. We'd gone away to Bootham Crescent. I think we went a goal down after 80 seconds. I remember Craig Russell scoring for us, like a bit of a cross-come shot. But yeah, just a bad day. They scored late on, and it was a bit of a low point going into the Christmas period. We didn't have another game then before Christmas Day. We went to Wrexham on Boxing Day, and then back to Main Road against Stoke on the 28th. So,
Kevin, how difficult is that? Because I've been there. I'm a Manchester City fan. I was born into it. I've seen the darkest, deepest of days from the stands. How was it on the pitch?
It was tough, and to be fair, I was impressed with how I was remembering so much about that game, because I can't remember anything. They all sort of blurred into one for me. It was tough, obviously, going that low. We were the big show in town. Every game was tough, and we found ourselves in a really sticky situation. And people talk about the York game being the bottom. It was as low as we went, and obviously, Towles has just mentioned it. We went to Wrexham on Boxing Day and won. I think it was a resurgence there. We obviously found ourselves climbing the division and then getting into the playoffs, and then obviously Goats handballed it against Wigan, and we got to Wembley.
Yeah. And Shaun,
you've heard it official now.
Yeah. Back in those days, Manchester City weren't the club that we were now. I mean, it's incredible for me to see, because I was born and I lived. I could see the Kippax from a bedroom window. But there's fans from all over the world now. But back then, we still had so many fans, and that's one of the things that I think players do talk about, how special Main Road was.
Yes, Main Road was special. The fans, very supportive. They showed, the passion. And they showed it both ways. So if we wasn't, pulling our weight and doing well, we got that. And likewise, what we see today when the team is doing well and scored loads of goals, you see that same passion come through. So different time then.
They were massive for us, though. Look, we took them to the depths, didn't we, at that point, and it was really tough for us. And I think the worse we got, the better they supported us, and they had such a big part to play. I know the lads went out and won at Wembley that day, but they stuck by us. I don't know how.
It was difficult on a Monday morning in school.
I apologise.
Yeah, when the United fans, I'll say, who were my friends, decided to let rip on me after Manchester City, another dismal performance. It was tough, but here we are at the heights, and I'm sat with these legends, so I'll take all that bullying. I don't mind it one bit. We will move on to some more positives, though. A game which all three of you scored in against Burnley in the League Cup in 1999. August it was. You beat them 5-0. Shaun, can you remember that one?
I normally can remember my goals against Burnley, but
you scored that many, you can't remember all them.
Yeah, but Burnley was a club for me. I used to love, when the fixture came out, it was, yes, when we moved up, it was the derby and it was Burnley, because I was like, well, that's where I'll score a goal if I'm fit. So yeah, we just enjoyed. I just enjoyed playing there. I really did. And I have to say this now because I don't think I'll ever get a chance, but I actually enjoyed playing with Gareth because my game physically, I didn't like the aerial stuff. So Gareth, I really appreciated what Gareth used to do. I used to see myself as more like a David Silva, but that was a joke.
When you talk about a relationship and one person really benefiting from that relationship, that was like, I was doing my bit for Shaun.
It's like those strikers when there's been a midfielder's put a ball in. Incredible ball, and all the striker's got to do is tap it in, and the striker runs off celebrating, and the midfielder's left there after the assist.
It's a good shout from Goats, but someone's got to live in the shadow, mate, and I'm used to it as well.
With this man still stealing the show, we do need to talk about the playoff final. Can't have you all three of you here without talking about that. Just incredible scenes. This is a heartbreaking moment for me because I was too young in a way to actually remember it. But you guys got to relive it, haven't you, over the years? And you've got to talk about it. You've got to gather in the changing rooms back in the old kit as well and relive some of the moments. But Gareth, how special was that day for you?
Yeah, it was special, and I think it was different for kind of all three of us. My kind of remembering it was more from like I was on the bench. These guys were actually playing in the game, so my emotions were completely different to these guys. I remember actually coming on with about 5 minutes to go with and Gillingham scoring as soon as I got on the pitch to make it 2-0. So you can just imagine the mood, and you can just imagine kind of like the feeling, seeing the supporters leaving, thinking it was over. It was a mad day. It really went through the roller coaster of emotions, but brilliant to come out of it and really start to put us on the map.
Now, there is one man that does get a lot of the headlines from that game. You did allude to it before, Kevin, but we're going to give you your flowers as well because it was your goal that kicked everything off, really, in a way. What do you remember from that?
From the game, I don't remember too much. I remember missing a sitter of a header and not much more. Look,
it's a great assist.
It was. like anyone, to be fair, I thought it was a consolation. And the fact I was on the edge of the box, it must have been I was making a forward run from the previous attack because I'm that slow. But it was lucky it fell on my left. I'm going to say that because on the right, that could have ended up in the car park.
I mean,
it was a consolation at that stage.
Well, how do you battle with that then? In your mind, what you do, you've scored that goal. Shaun, as a team, how do you gather the courage, the momentum to go once more and to go again?
I think it was when the clock had went up and it said 4 minutes. And I think having scored that goal, there was a huge roar. But more importantly, I think as we were sort of running back, we realised then that,
one more chance.
There's one more chance in there somewhere somehow, and that's what gave us the energy. And strangely enough, we actually went through that we rehearsed it.
How many takes?
It took longer than 4 minutes.
We tried to recreate the goal. Long story short, we tried to recreate the goal, and I had the easy part. Gerrard was having to hit 60-yard diagonals. All I had to do was flick it on. Shaun had a hard part. Paul obviously had to score the goal, and I kept getting it wrong. I kept getting the simplest part wrong.
But you flicked enough on for goats over the years, mate. So don't worry about that. Day we forgive you.
Yeah, we made up for that over the years. And I just got to say, incredible for you to all come back. And there's the image of you in the old kit in the current changing rooms.
No, it was unbelievable. It was actually quite emotional for me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. I've said that out loud now, and it did. I got a lump in my throat. We had a special bond, and people say when you go through tough times, and it was tough times at the beginning of that season, you just become together as a group, and I think it's something we'll take with us to the grave eventually. It was a special group and ended up a special day, but that day back here, reliving it, was really special.
And we've talked about some of the lows, but we've got to talk about some of the highs as well, and some of the celebrations that you did get to have over the years. I think we can see some of those right now. You guys enjoying yourselves, lifting that trophy. Shaun, I mean, these are images that live with me and City fans forever.
Wow, Will for me as well. I mean, I think I'm still coming up the steps, and he's already lifted.
Where are you there?
So there you go. You can see some of the boys still walking up the steps. Absolute brilliant time, and as Kevin said, really emotional because we sort of were at the lowest, and to find ourselves sort of make the climb and then make another climb. I had swapped jerseys there, and
that's why you took so long.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, I've got to ask a question. Do you all have that kit? Do you still have the kit somewhere around in your houses, up on the wall, anything, Kevin?
My one's downstairs in the museum, I think, or the tour. Sorry, the stadium tour. So mine's downstairs.
It'll be safe forever, Shaun?
Yeah, mine. There's probably about 8 different jerseys of mine. But I've still got that. Yeah, I've still got that jersey.
That one right there.
But your one's not about.
No, I think he I don't know. I think he sold it, and then somebody else. So people say they got it, and who knows who's got it.
Did we get given 2 that day? Chappie was being generous, wasn't he? Did we get 2 that day?
I can't
I'm sure we had 2. It was rare.
I wore long sleeve, so I've never seen a short sleeve version of mine.
Wow, I mean it's incredible to hear the behind the scenes stuff of it.
Look, that's how bad it went. I'm stuck for Gillingham now.
And Gareth, just before this, we did see you celebrating with the cup right there. And for you, what a special moment. But looking out to the fans after some of the heartbreak at times and some of the bad times it was as well, to give something back to those fans, how special was that for you?
Yeah, it was amazing just to kind of have that celebration with the fans in that moment. And, after that, it was a case of, right, what's next for us? Believe it or not, we wanted to improve as a group. And, the following season, we also got promoted. And with only changing the team slightly, we brought in a couple of players, but the majority of that squad stayed together. And I think, like Kev alluded to before, it was a real strong bond in that team because it was a real team. I keep using the word team. There was no real kind of outstanding footballers or superstars. We all really give ourselves to the cause, and I think this is why we have like a special bond, even when we come back and haven't seen each other for years.
How long was it before you were back at Platt Lane, running around the streets of Fallowfield, Moss Side, warming up, Kevin?
Well, to be fair, after the game, I didn't go back on the coach to Manchester. I went down to Swindon because we could just all disperse. We didn't want to make a big song and dance about it. Obviously, the people over the road had won a few trophies that season.
No, after season 2, we didn't have that.
No. I ended up in Swindon at my mother-in-law's house just having a few beers.
Oh, well, celebrations everywhere it was, definitely back in Manchester. Right, we've got a quick update for you on the EDS game. They are taking on Liverpool. It's now 6-2. All right, Liam Delap got the 5th goal, which we can see right here.
Finish.
Calm and composed. What a finish. Chipping the keeper right there. And then, as I said, it has become 6-2 with Ben Knight getting the 6th goal. Through on goal, takes a touch off the keeper. I mean, Gareth, I've got to come back to you once again about this, but you have worked with these players, and Liam Delap's someone that I think he's really exciting Manchester City fans right now with injuries to Jesus, injuries to Aguero as well. We've seen him feature a little bit. He is still young, but he's definitely got a bright future.
Yeah, he has. I mean, you know, he's got a bit of stock in having Rory as his father, so it's great that that Liam's come into the club and hit the ground running. Made a great start to his City career in the first team. Had a good conversation with Pep about Liam, and we were very similar in our thoughts. Is like the main thing with him is keeping him on the pitch. He's a bit of a throwback centre forward who likes to get stuck in, and just keeping him on the right side of the law is key. But very good player and a very bright future ahead of him.
Shaun, do you think that this Manchester City squad could benefit from a player like Liam Delap, a big, tall, old school, I'd say, centre forward?
Personally, yes. I feel that if City were, sounds like I'm going against Pep, but no, I feel that we play the total game, and I think it would be really good to have that option now and again to throw a ball up when teams press the way they do, to be able to say, we'll miss that press, it goes up there, and it could be held, and therefore you can then get the supporting runners, you know, Kevin De Bruyne or whomever, and to slot in Sterling and Torres and, you know, whoever's playing. So I do think that could give us another edge, another dimension if we did do that.
I think looking at him, he's not just a target man. No. Looking at the finishes, he looks like he's got a lot more than just being a target man. But having that size, I'm with Goats on it, it does give you that other option.
It definitely does. Right, we want to move on and talk about football now and football back when you guys were playing. It's because fans and players have been very vocal on social media, in the media, and just when they're talking to their friends by VAR, offside, and the new handball rule. So how do you guys see the rules affecting the game? Gareth, it definitely has changed over the years. The tackles that used to fly in back in the day compared to now, VAR's looking at absolutely everything. Do you think that players are more cautious these days?
Yeah, potentially. But also, I think like the excitement around the game, the excitement of scoring a goal. Players now you see are not fully celebrating because they know there's a possibility that it might have been offside or whatever. So I think it's difficult. You know, we seem to be looking at reviewing certain things and then not others, which you think are more important. But yeah, it's certainly changed the game, let's say, and I wouldn't necessarily say for the better.
Well, Kevin, I was going to ask you, when you were playing, would you have liked VAR to have been involved in some of the tackles, some of the goals that you were in?
Yeah, look, back in our day, we'd have all been sent off every single game if VAR was about it. I'm with Towels on it. It just took the passion out of the game for me. Player-wise, like celebrating, supporter-wise, I just think it's just got ridiculous. If you're talking about clear and obvious decisions, big moments in games, then fine. But when they're pulling it back, it's just got a mess. It's just got out of hand. I haven't got the answers, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shaun, how many of your goals do you think would have been maybe called for hitting the arm or hitting a different part of the body?
I think we'll be down to about 20 goals. Yeah. But you know, even I mean, I agree with the lads. But something I think I'd like to see, which is probably not about VAR, is more about the diving, and I like to see more like retrospective red cards. You know, sort of it's being looked at and it's clear that this player's dived. Therefore, now you got a red card. Therefore, you miss. You know, so even if there's a panel that looks at it, because I think the game is. I think we look at it through different eyes. As supporters, we look at the game as, yes, we love the tackle, but today, the players that play a European game. But we're watching the game through British eyes. We like the tackle. We like somebody getting stuck in. So I think that's for me. I'd like that to be an improvement on the game.
And Kevin, what about walking aggressively? Do you think that VAR would have had a look at that decision?
Do you know what? I'm glad VAR wasn't about, because that was some aggressive walk. I think I'd have got a longer ban.
Yeah.
So we thought, I'd have looked an idiot, maybe. That's
maybe.
probably about right.
No, I think that they would have looked at it and thought, wait, he's just been sent off for what? We do want to talk a little bit more just about this, because Kevin De Bruyne, he did say in a post-match interview, he's been playing professional football for 12 years now. In the first 9 years, there was no rule changes. And Gareth, in the last 3, we've seen so many different rule changes. And the players, they don't really know what the rules are anymore. That must be frustrating for them.
Yeah, you could see Kevin's frustrations in the last game with the Gabriel disallowed goal. And I think it's like you say, you're just moving from like one extreme to the other very, very quickly. And there's not been any kind of breaking in, maybe one slight change. It seems to have gone from like 3 or 4 different real key decisions or moments that can happen in games, and it just seems to have gone really one way too quickly.
It definitely has, and I feel like a lot of footballers, you can see that frustration. Let's move on to a few weeks ago. In the studio, I was here. I was joined by Natalie Pavalek, and Manchester City women's team, they were in Wembley. They were all the way down in London as they were winning the FA Cup, Gareth. And we want to show some of the highlights of that and probably talk through the game, because for us here, we didn't know what was going to happen. It felt like Manchester City were in such a driving, dominant force, and then it slowly started to change, and we didn't know which way it was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is us getting the winning goal in extra time.
Oh.
Great scenes. Again, obviously missing on the supporters, but yeah, the girls did great. I mean, we were fairly in control of the game. This is right in overtime. We scored to make it 3-1. We were fairly in control. Everton made it a really difficult game for us. But yeah, great moment and good celebration afterwards. And a proud moment for me, especially starting out in a new role.
Yeah, you've only been there for a few months' time, but already you've got some silverware, and there's a chance of another FA Cup, which would make history. 2 FA Cups in one season, but I'm guessing for you guys, it's just taking each game at a time. Obviously, you've got the Champions League draw that's just happened this week as well, but it seems very positive.
Yeah, it's great. Like you say, for us to set a bit of history, to be able to win 2 FA Cups in one season, I don't think we'll ever have the opportunity to do that again. We understand that other teams want to be successful as well. There's another 4 trophies available this season. And we want to give ourselves the best possible chance. But yeah, nice to get one in the pocket early on.
And we need to talk about some of the new signings as well. It's been Thanksgiving this week over in America, and obviously we've had some American additions. How are they settling in?
Yeah, they've done great. I think we've always looked at where we can improve in the women's game and the women's team, especially for us. We managed to bring back Lucy Bronze from Lyon as well. The American girls who you've touched on, and Chloe Kelly from Everton, and also Alex Greenwood coming in as well. So they just kind of really contribute a lot and also complement what we already have in a decent squad.
And now one player we do need to focus on, I think she was referred to as the Tower of Power, Sam Mewis. We can see her goal right here from that game.
Yeah, she scored in the semi-final as well, Sam, against Arsenal, and she's a real inspiration for me. Not only is a really good footballer, but is a really good person and does all the right things. She's a real leader and someone that the young players that we have in the team can certainly aspire to be.
How important is that for you? Because players that have been there, they've done that, they've experienced the game, they've managed to win trophies all over. That must add so much to the team.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we've got obviously our England players in the team, the likes of Steph, likes of Jill, and Karen Bardsley, who've done great things in the game. But to get 2 World Cup winners, 2 Americans who won the World Cup, I think is that next level that we really want to try and use that knowledge and use that experience as much as we possibly can.
It definitely is. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. It's an exciting one. You've got to make sure you take it every game at a time, and hopefully we'll have lots of trophies by the end of this season. Right, everyone at home, you have been getting involved using that hashtag WNRH to try and find out who our mystery player is. We did put up a pixelated image of the mystery blue. We had Hembry Street Blue saying Emmanuel Adebayor. Trevor Boswell has said Kolo Toure. Pat 808 has said Yaya Toure. Sion Edwards has said Sean Wright Phillips, and Kavita Chug has said Kolo Touré as well. We're not going to reveal who it is just yet. Make sure you do stay tuned. We're back at half-time and also at the end of the game, and I think that is when we will be revealing who the winner is of that one. Right, we've got to look ahead to today's game because Manchester City taking on Burnley, and we do have our junior citizens as well that are getting involved. So if you're at home and you're thinking, oh, I am missing it and I would love to get involved, well, you can do, all right. If you are a junior citizen of the match, you receive the following package. You get a full home kit, a full squad signed shirt. I've not even got one of those yet. A personalised letter from your favourite player. Also, you're featured in the digital programme. You're featured on the stadium jumbo screen. You've got a feature in the Manchester City starting lineup on the big screens. And you're announced by the stadium announcer. And today, our junior citizen of the match is Daniel Stratfold, who lives in Murcia in Spain. So congratulations to you, Daniel. And here he is. He sent us a very, very special message.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel. I'm 8 years old, from Spain, and I am the junior citizen of the match for today's game against Burnley. Come on, City! Hola a todos, soy Daniel, tengo 8 años, vivo en España y soy el junior citizen del partido de hoy contra Burnley. ¡Vamos, City!
Come on, City, indeed. Daniel, you're supporting from Murcia. Enjoy that rather big package that you've had sent to you, and definitely enjoy that full squad signed shirt. Like I said, I've not even got one of those, so make sure you keep it safe, all right? We've been giving you updates of the Manchester City EDS team taking on Liverpool. I can now tell you it is 7-2, absolute annihilation, with Tommy Doyle wanting to get himself on the score sheet. We can see his goal right here. Free kick inside the box. Oh! There's something special about an indirect free kick from inside the box. There's been images going around and videos going around of a certain special one this week. But, Gareth, that one from Tommy Doyle right there, the whole Liverpool team are on the line.
Yeah, I was just trying to count then to see if they were all on. I mean, great technique from Tommy. He's got that in his locker. So he'll be pleased, and it finishes off a nice positive result for the guys. It does indeed. Shaun, would you have got yourself on that free kick indirect, smashing it into the back of the net?
No, that wasn't my forte. I was looking for rebounds.
You'd been standing around. He hit that as well as you did in the playoff final.
They're really difficult ones then when they're so close in, and sometimes obviously the defenders can get out to it or you don't connect well, but he caught that perfect there. The City boys look like they got a little bit of swagger in that game there.
They do indeed. Right, we need to get your predictions ahead of the game. Is less than 10 minutes until kick-off. Manchester City taking on Burnley here at the Etihad. Pep Guardiola taking on Sean Dyche. Gareth Taylor, I'm going to come to you first for a prediction. What score are you thinking it'll be?
I'm going with 4-1 today, Carl. I think City will score goals. I think Burnley will register one. And I think if we can get that early goal, we should set ourselves up nicely. But I'm going 4-1.
I like that positivity. Sean, who are you thinking?
Yeah, he's making me doubt my prediction here. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I think, Burnley will look for something on a set piece. They are very physical that way. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 City.
And Kevin Horlock, what are you saying for today?
I'm going to go big or go home. I'm going to say 5-0. We've spoke about the chances being created. Not many goals been scored. I think today's the day.
Today is the day. Manchester City taking on Burnley here at the Etihad. I'm going to add to that. I'm going to say 2-0 Manchester City. I'm normally right, so we'll see if I am. We'll be back at half-time to give you our analysis of the first half action, then back at full-time as well, so make sure you join us here and we're not really here. Plus, we have a recap and a highlights package going out this evening at 12 o'clock on City Plus, so make sure you sign up to that. But we'll see you at half-time. Manchester City taking on Burnley. Come on, City.